Hi friends, it's Tracy from the Financial Freedom Diary, and today we're back for a recap of me closing out my sinking funds. I tried to record this video before my whole vacation had really kicked off, and then when I uploaded it to the editor, I found that I only had saved like 12 minutes of the whole entire video. So we're just gonna be recapping everything. You see all my little dots because I was getting confused. Logging everything. You can see down here I had to use some whiteout because I did the math wrong. So it was a whole mess, and I was so frustrated. And I was just like, you know what, don't nobody care. I can go on vacation. This is my vacation. I need a break. And I got a lot of crap to do around the house, so I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna go where I'm appreciated, y'all. And I'm like, this camera don't appreciate me, and I don't have time for it. So but yeah, so we're gonna do a recap of it because I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I feel rested. I feel good. I've gotten so much stuff done around the house. I just can't believe I did it. Outside looks wonderful. And so one of these days, I think on one of my weekly check-ins, I'm gonna have to show y'all my plants that are outside because they're doing pretty good. But anyway, I'm gonna focus. This one was a little bit complicated for me because it's a lot more spending than I'm used to doing around the month of May. Normally I do a lot of spending around Christmas. It's certain times of the year, but May normally isn't it. There are some things I do for the household spending, tissue, paper towels, that kind of stuff that I just kind of re-up for the next year. So the unpredictable thing was the issue with my car. I'm not going to go back through all of that. Y'all know what happened. And so some of my expenses were related to that. I also had included down here so I could have it for future reference how much I spent in cash towing my car. And this affected the slush fund, which is what I use to fund my sinking funds. Not my sinking funds, but my weight loss challenges. My weight loss challenge, my coin challenge. Yeah, just those two. So I pull from that little pocket of money. But if someone needs cash for like a tow truck driver or something like that, I'll pull it from that slush fund. So that way I have that money for them. I don't let them tow the car to a place and then let them put it on the bill. The reason why I don't is because to me, and why am I saying to me? In my past experience, it's cheaper this way. You pay them 85 bucks, they tow the car, and then if you let them tow the car and then they put it on the bill, sometimes you'll see the bill, the amount of the tow is like 100 and something, but really the cost is less. So I do that out of pocket, and that just works for me. So that's what this line is. Another update is that my emergency fund is now at $15,400. It's not even, but you know, that's about it. And just follow up with what was in my emergency fund so you guys would know what that was. And so the whole car thing, me financing, I know that it does not follow the Dave Ramsey system, and I screwed up big time because I didn't factor in a car replacement. I didn't do any of that, and I had a very long debt freedom journey. So what's the one thing I was going to need? It was a car replacement. It's just, it is what it is. And I didn't do that. I also did not approach my emergency fund like being gazelle intense. That's another thing that I did wrong. So there are a lot of factors going into it that I can look and say, yeah, you could have done this differently, that differently. But I did want to take that $15,000 or $14,000 off of the $15,000 and put it on a car. I finally got some money saved, so that's how I feel. It's like, no, I finally got it saved. I finally got the amount over $10,000. I don't think I've ever had that much. Like I can look at my account and say, hey, this is my money. I've never had that. So I just said, well, I'll just do this and finance it and I'll take care of it. But I'm not going to use my emergency fund. Now, as I go on paying it off, I may change my mind, but right now I'm just going to stick with what I have. So that way I have a real life emergency fund. So it's like a double whammy. It's like still needed to finance the remaining balance, and then using up all my savings and being afraid something may happen. And it's not just me. It's me. I have 2 sons. They're adults and they work. But what if they need to come to me for help and I can't help them? That just doesn't sit right with me. And so it's just kind of like, I'm going to do what I got to do. And so that is that. So you'll see I have some whiteout on the line for a car replacement and where this 4,500 is. And so when we go through the spending tracker, you're going to see where part of this come from, and then I'll tell you what the difference is. So on 5/7 at Sam's Club, I spent $192.18 on household items. At Sam's Club household again, $80.53 with some stuff that I forgot from the first haul. At Lowe's, it was household items, $106.92. And so that is like the spider away stuff and the filters that I got for the year. Firestone, the car maintenance was $71.36. I don't know why I keep getting tripped up over this line, but this was a diagnostic. They didn't charge me the full diagnostic cost. They only charged me like 50% of it. I like them. 517 Wolf Chase Hyundai car maintenance, it was $142.68. Now they charged me the whole thing, but they could have done the work. I just didn't want all of the stuff they were pointing out. I was like, no, I'm not paying. I literally blanked out after he said the timing chain. Like, I really don't remember what all that man said. It's just kind of like, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. Principal Toyota 518, that's when I went and I paid it's like not a deposit. I think it's a deposit. I don't know. It's kind of like a reservation type thing while they get the car. Now, when you look at the timeline between when I paid this and when I paid my down payment, because the 500 and 4,500, they go together, the time span that was given to me was not that short. They told me it was going to be mid-June, maybe early July before I would get it. So, yeah, I don't want to misrepresent that. 520, that was my youngest son's birthday. And so he wanted cash and dinner. So that came out of the gift sinking fund, $325. And so then when I did this line right here, I kind of felt that was misleading for my future self. I need to see the buckets. I need to see where the money went, what this means and stuff like that, because when I get far away from a situation, sometimes I forget stuff. So what I did was I wanted a new car or car replacement fund. So 522 transferred to new car from the travel, $1,200. I'm not traveling. So for me, what's important? Holding money aside so I can go somewhere or to take care of the car situation. And so that's the priority I gave it. Transfer to new car from the bill money was $21.66. So if you look at the two of these, you're going to see $33.66, and you're going to say that does not equal what you put down because I paid an additional $4,500. Don't forget, from paycheck number 2, I had set aside for my budget $11.34. And so that's why this was whited out. So the total of those 3 makes $4,500. And that was it for the expenditures. So what did that leave me for gifts? That left me with $619.90. My oldest son's birthday is July 15th, so I have one more birthday coming up. Medical, I didn't spend anything, didn't deposit anything, so I'm still at $504.47. I'm in the process of spending from my FSA account right now, so I haven't had to touch this yet. Sometimes I forget to pull out my FSA debit card, and that's when I go into this bucket right here. Subscriptions, I'm at $411.39.39. So I added $40 to the subscriptions in July. I believe it's either June or July. I have to pay my Sam's membership. I also found out, and you guys can let me know, because some of you guys are like POs, product owners, or project managers, or scrum masters. Y'all let me know if y'all took the Agile PMP thing, because my coworker was telling me that is where the company's gone. So if I use this to pay for my study material or anything like that, I will get the company to reimburse me, and so I can put my money back, because they will, certain things they'll reimburse and certain things they won't. Clothing, I added $30, $133.73. My voice quickly went out. Car maintenance, $378.38 was what I started out with. Added $100, then I subtracted out $214.04, and so now I'm at $264.34. Insurance, this is renter's insurance and car insurance. I'm at $602.96. In June, they're going to take out either $68 or $98. I can't remember, but it's the difference in the 6-month policy that I already paid for the new vehicle, and then I'll get another bill coming up for this vehicle in July. So I may have to add more money into this bucket. Household, I started out with $377.42, added $150, spent $379.63, and so I only have $147.79. So you saw what I did with the travels. She's not gone, it's just she at zero. Electronics, I added $50, so it's $946.22, and yeah, I'm getting real close. Bill money, it's down to $13.34. Taxes is at $50. I didn't add anything to that one. And my car replacement started with zero, added $4,500, spent $4,500, and it's at zero. So at the beginning of the month, I started $9,139.47 in my sinking funds. I spent $5,000. Well, no, I deposited $5,160, and then I spent $9,284.67, and that leaves me with $5,014.80. So yeah, and so that I have quite a few expenditures coming up. I think in July is going to be another month that I'm going to get hit with a couple of them that I can see coming in the horizon. And I don't remember what my new car insurance rate is going to be, but you'll have it at that time. So sorry we had to rush through like that, but I had no clue that it stopped recording at 12 minutes, and that was very disappointing. So as I proceed forward, what am I going to do as far as like paying debt? Am I going to go at it the same way? Probably not as what I did before, because I think I'm about $9,000 away from having everything I need in my emergency fund. So I'm going to turn back to paycheck number 2, because that's always a check that has some extra money in there. And so understanding that I get paid like the last day of the month. So this is May, so May 31st. Actually today I get paid, but that's my first paycheck for June. And my first car payment is going to be $630. So what I'm going to do in June is I'm going to create a bucket to put the car payment in, so that way when it comes out at the end of the month, it stays in the current month's budget, because of the timing of how everything is going to work. So it's not confusing for me. Might be confusing for you, but I'm sorry. But that's the way I'm going to have to do it, so that way mentally I understand what is going on with the timelines and everything. May is the one where I normally have money left to budget. And so I'm going to have to, my payments are $299 or $295 per check. It's one of those two values. My brain is saying $299 because I know I got the gap insurance too. So when I do my debt snowball, I'll have those two payments that are automatically going to come out. And so that's about a $600 payment. And then I'm going to add a $300 payment. But once I see, once I verify, because I got my paperwork somewhere. Well, it's not somewhere. It's in my bedroom, y'all. It's just not in here and where all my other stuff is. I need to put my business-like stuff in here and not have it in my bedroom. But I'll be reading at night. So, y'all ain't need to know all that. Focus. But yeah, so it's going to be an extra $300. That's going to be a principal payment. This is my credit union they're a little bit behind, so I can't do pay debt with me videos. So I want to set that expectation right now. I can't do it because I can't do it. I have to go in and I have to let them know that it's a principal payment, and then they will post it as a principal payment. If you don't get it right at the time you make the payment, it counts as just a regular car payment, which is not what I want. A principal payment will help reduce the interest quicker, and I'll pay the car off quicker. So that's what we're going to do. And that's just me starting off. That's not going forward. I need to build up my bill money. I need to get the emergency fund done. And so with what I have left, it's going to go and take care of those two things. So yeah, in these times, y'all know this is not the most stable time economy wise. So I'm just going to do what works for me. May not work for some people watching my videos, but I got to do what works for me. So that is where we at. That is how that's going to work, and I'll keep you updated with the balance. Y'all know I always keep it on the video, and my goal is on my channel, I do not want to be put in a position of being perfect all the time and to have to come back and lie to people. Because I remember one of the questions Mrs. BS asked me when we had our lunch was, how did I feel about people who added debt? And I didn't feel no ways about it, because it's like, that ain't none of my business, because I ain't in people's houses. That's how I look at things. I'm like, I'm not in their home, and I'm not going to tell people how to live. So, but I know as well as I feel that way, there are people who don't. But, and they feel like you should walk this narrow line. And for me, being stranded at a gas station by myself, waiting on a tow truck, waiting on my son, there was nobody out there with me. And it was my son that came and picked me up. So it's like, yeah, that's how I feel. But I'm gonna share what I do. But that is how it's gonna go as far as like paying off the truck. It's not really a truck. It's a subcompact. Paying that off quickly, and so I'm gonna get that done. But we're gonna start off just with 300 as a debt snowball amount, and then I'm going to go from there, see how I feel, if everything else is building back up, what's going on at work. You know, it's a lot of factors that are moving around right now that I don't feel comfortable sharing on YouTube. But anyway, that is it. That is the sinking fund expenditures and closeout, y'all. Sorry that I didn't record it all, and I will talk to you guys again on Saturday. Bye, y'all.